right, I suppose we have enough audience. We have waited enough. Let's get started. So yeah, let's get started. My name is Abhishek Jain. I am director in RCIC at Amica Immigration, and we do conduct these weekly webinars. And the purpose of these webinars is purely to impart knowledge. So any and all questions are accepted. Really appreciate if the question is related to the topic at hand, and also if it is something that will be in larger interest of the audience. So try and stick to those. Again, like I said, I do take everything, but time is always short. Okay, and we don't want to lose out on some good information that I can provide on the relevant topic that we are discussing today, and not digress in too much into at least a different territory. But you questions are most welcome. You can raise your hand. You can interrupt me if it is in the context. You can also put it out on the chat. Ankur is the moderator for today, so thank you, Ankur. And let's get going. We will start with a whiteboard I had made previously for a similar session. Where do I find it? I see one very relevant question came up from Satish. He says that whether files will be revoked and what will happen, how will they look like, how it will be rolled out, the new changes that are coming to OINP. I hope everyone is aware of those. If not, yes, the OINP streams are changing, and these are some big changes, and nobody knows how will they be rolled out, Satish. And yes, I can speculate they could be revoked, but not necessarily, because the earlier change that happened with the employer stream was specific, meaning that there was a fundamental procedural change in which IRCC wanted the employers to initiate the job offers. In this one, the streams are changing, eligibility would change. So we don't know whether they merge existing profiles into current profile and ask you to update, whether they ask you to create new profiles relevant to the new eligibility, but nobody knows on that one. And we just have to wait and watch. Rohan, sir, if the HR reference letter is generic, borderline usually does not work very well, Rohan, especially in today's day and age, because there are different systems in place. Okay, earlier things used to be much simpler, much flexible, if you want to use that word. But these days, at least, I mean, I don't know how OINP will behave. Okay, because in OINP, for most part, it is quite clear because employer is initiating the job offer. But yes, try to be not borderline, not generic, be specific to what you are doing. And if it is 62100, make sure it aligns with 62100 fundamentally, but also it states your responsibilities that are specific to your role and are not generic in nature. If you cannot control that, then it is what it is, kind of a situation. But also what will matter is not just that. It also matters is your entire profile, how that looks to the officer. So just be a little careful on that one. And if you ask, my answer would be that I wouldn't feel comfortable about it. Okay, I would definitely want you to push your employer a little bit more if you can. If you don't have an option, then you don't have an option, right? All right, I'll get started. So yes, I'm not here to talk about the changes that are coming in. What I'm really here to talk about is the system that is in place today. Okay, and then if you understand the system that is in place today, it will be much easier for you to comprehend the changes that happen whenever they happen and whenever they are rolled out. Okay, but right now the fundamental problem is that people still don't understand the processes and the system that is in place right now. And you see express entry in here, federal in here, because it forms an integral part of the process that happens with OINP. And again, I don't know. I mean, I know, I mean, there have been a lot of chatter. We likely know how things will be structured, but I don't want to put them on the table right now and digress this conversation and this session. So what I really want to focus on is what is happening right now. Okay, what are these processes? What are these different streams that you keep hearing about? I mean, because things are happening that I was not anticipating in OINP at all. I mean, I was not anticipating any big draws before the changes are rolled out. But now draws are coming that are just very, very surprising. I mean, there are draws for GTA region for technical job knock codes in there. Okay, that is something I could not have envisioned even in my dreams. It was almost a dream. I mean, that's what I would tell, because I do have a lot of clientele who are, say, close to 40, who are IT professionals, and they have been brought on intra-company transfer and they just don't have any other option. Okay, express entry won't work for them where they stand, and OINP is what they've been relying on, but there have been no tech draws or anything with regards to OINP for a while now. So it did happen last year once. Okay, but again, GTA is not something that is in favor. So a lot of them are in GTA. Okay, and then now you see a GTA draw for so many tech knock codes. There were different other knock codes as well. Okay, but it was just very, very surprising. Honestly, it was very refreshingly surprising to see such a draw happen. And you'll see that this year, last year, I would normally do these ONP webinars quite frequently whenever draw started. But this year, I just don't know. I have been on a pause waiting for new rules to be rolled out. But here is OINP, they just keep doing these draws. They have even done a master draw after I don't even know 1.5 years, and in a very different way, bringing in knockouts which never happened earlier. But yeah, things are happening and things are changing. Rules will change, but change of rules is not stopping OINP from conducting the draws. Okay, and that's where we are here talking about OINP. I will take one more question that I see from Nawaz Sharif before I move on to my.
Yeah, it says that my employer is Toronto based and they have multiple employees there and currently operating at Windsor. And I am working as PSW knock 4144101. I found not three permanent employees who have PR or citizens, while employees from Toronto is supervising us here also payroll. Should he be able to help for the job offer?
Again, it's a very, very, very specific question, Nawaz Sharif, because simple thing is that this is not your problem. This is your employer's problem. Okay, your employer must register on the job offer portal, go through the questionnaire, answer the questions truthfully, and see that whether they will be eligible to roll out the offers or not. So, I mean, that's what I'll say. Just sit with your employer, go through the actual questionnaire, put in the actual information in there, and see that how it pans out. Okay,
Okay,
so let
good.
me
Go ahead,
first
sir.
introduce people to OINP because they would be hearing a lot of information. But unfortunate part is that so for something that critical that most of the people are relying just on social media at best to understand what's going on. Okay, they barely understand what is EOI, they barely understand what is express entry, they barely understand that when they get their nomination through EOI, that they will be getting PR through a non-express entry system. Okay, and all of this is very, very important. Okay, I understand the stress that most of you would be under. I understand that you are not the experts at immigration, but this is something you cannot get away from. Okay, or in the end, what happens is that either you make a wrong decision or you end up getting exploited. So having your own information, having that ability not to understand everything, but to be able to ask right questions is a very big tool that you may have. Okay, and social media is just not the right place. It's a good place to start. GPT is a good place to get some initial views. Okay, but you cannot get away from your responsibility to dig deeper, to understand the system in the detail that can help you build understanding that will allow you to take the right decisions. Okay, what I really wanted to focus on in this session was to walk you through these different streams that exist in OINP, how do they function, and then I really, really wanted to look at some of the draws that are happening right now, and can we think of some trend that is developing. Okay, even I've not done any particular research on it. Okay, and let's just make this an interactive session as much as possible. All right, Sunny. Okay, let's just take your question that you raised your hand if you have.
Yeah, hello. I just want to ask you that my employer, he applied me on INP student stream because he wrongly applied for me on that. Actually, I am on work permit. So some of them told me to tell him to withdraw the application. So I told
Yeah,
him to withdraw the
absolutely.
application.
Yeah. So see,
So it
again,
is,
I will be refrain from taking specific questions at this point. Okay, but yes,
so
in your case, when you know already that it is a wrong
I
application, you
want to
will
ask,
be.
my question is, I am on work permit, so, and I completed 12, means 12 months completed, okay? So, is it possible for me to apply on in-demand stream?
In demand, yes. It's a 9 month requirement. If your wage is higher than median wage, you can apply.
Okay, I'm working as a patient transfer assistant, so my job knock code is 33102, but it is not showing that knock code,
It's
so
not
what
part
I
of, see, I think there is a lot of gap in here. I can't even start filling that in because it's not part of in-demand skills. You have to qualify for foreign worker stream for which requirement is 2 years, not 1 year.
Okay, so not possible for me, right?
No.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Again, no offense to Sunny, but please refrain from such questions at this point. Okay, we'll see at end if we can answer these specific questions, or a lot of the audience on this webinar, they will lose out on the information that I'm trying to impart. Okay, and again, please don't get me wrong, okay, that I understand your anxiety, I understand where you are coming from, but try and absorb information. Okay, more you absorb information, question someone or the other will answer you. Okay, maybe you just pay someone, you get it answered. Okay, but trust me, the knowledge that I'm trying to impart right now, nobody will give you this knowledge, and just try and absorb as much as you can out of this session. Okay, so let's get started. That OINP, what is OINP? OINP is a system which is Ontario Immigration Nomination Program. At very basic of it, that it is one of the pathways to secure Canadian PR. How it works is that the system has been bifurcated. The entire immigration system has been bifurcated in a way that federal government, which is IRCC, they have certain rights. Of course, they have designed this entire system. They are responsible for it. And in short, they have a certain quota of people that they can call on PR, and then they have given a certain quota to provinces to call or nominate the people for permanent residence. So what's the difference? That if say you apply through express entry, IRCC is taking your application, finalizing your PR. You are applying to a province cannot give you PRs. Province give you what is called nomination, and based on that nomination, you again go back to IRCC saying, I have a nomination from province, can you give me PR? Okay, so and why this separation? Because of the needs of immigration. Again, it has not been very, very well executed, but the fundamental idea is that one, federal government has the entire view of Canada, so they know the kind of people that they want to immigrate in Canada, and then provinces have their own problems, and then they have certain views. Similarly, you will see a RCIP program, meaning communities have their own views. That community knows that kind of workforce or labor needs they have. Okay, which is where this separation happened, and that's where you'll see a lot of these PNP programs, wherein each province designs that how they want to call different set of peoples with different set of skill sets. So which is what this PNP versus federal separation is. Now, what can happen is that this PNP program can be administered in multiple ways, and all of this is generic information. Okay, that it is relevant to pretty much every PNP. That it is administered in multiple ways. One, it can be administered through the express entry system, or second is it can be administered through a system that province creates for itself. And largely almost every province names their system as EOI, which is expression of interest. So sticking to that, what we see on the screen here are two green boxes. Okay, so both of these green boxes represent systems. Okay, so when it comes to systems, there are two big systems, and sticking to OINP. Okay, there is one system which is express entry, which is administered by federal government, or in other words, IRCC. OINP is administered by the Ontario province, meaning that IRCC has no stake in what happens in OINP EOI. They don't have any connection to it. So OINP EOI system is an entirely separate system which works independently of express entry. So we are talking about OINP, we are talking about province, then why do we keep talking about express entry? Okay, anyone? Ankur, may I put you on the spot? I know you have some understanding of immigration system, limited understanding of OINP. Okay, so if I were to take an answer from you, Ankur, what do you understand that what is express entry doing here when we are talking about the provinces?
Abhishek, you'll have to repeat the question. I was actually
No,
trying to
good.
figure out.
So my
I was
question
trying to
here
figure.
is,
Yeah. Go
my
ahead.
question is that what is express entry doing in the session when we are supposed to talk about OINP?
When we receive the employer job offer, so we will get a point from express entry when we apply.
No, does not work that way. And that's the typical misunderstanding people have, right?
Okay.
Express entry is so what happens is that people create their profile in express entry, and whoever have been through that process will know that there is a page for application details wherein people can select and I know your curiosity, I'll come to all the questions. Let me just repeat for interest of everybody on this call, so that I can give them this basic knowledge, and then I will definitely come to all the questions. So where I was. Okay, so anyone who has created express entry profile will understand that there is something called application details, in which they have to select the provinces when they are creating their profile. When they select the province, there is one of the province named Ontario there. And when they select the Ontario, that automatically qualifies them for something called OINP Express Entry streams, meaning that OINP has designed 3 streams that work directly with your Express Entry profile and you don't have to take any steps. Unfortunately for these 3 streams, that draws have not happened since November 2024. Now, chances are these streams may actually be all of the 3 streams you see on the screen, which is Human Capital Priority stream. This is the box I'm talking about. Skill Trade stream, French Focus stream, they may be revamped or removed and something else may replace them. But we'll wait and watch. I don't want to speculate. But as of now, the way things stand, that these streams you will automatically qualify for. Human Capital Priority stream, Skill Trade, French Focused, based on your eligibility. Now understand that eligibility for OINP Express Entry streams is different. You have to search, you have to go to OINP page, go to these specific streams and search for eligibility of each of these streams. Okay, and they are different from Express Entry streams. Okay, the skill trades you see in Express Entry is different from the trade stream that you see in the category based selection, which is different from FST that you see in Express Entry. So it's so much information and trades can be used in so many different ways that on this screen itself, right, we are looking at 3 things: FST, category based selection trades, and then skill trades in OINP. And then if I go to EOI, there is in demand skills. Okay, so it's very easy to get confused. Okay, so in your head, you have to find that clarity on what's the pathway you are pursuing. Okay, so Express and these streams work directly with Express Entry, and these are the streams that give you those 600 points. That once nominated, the system will automatically attach 600 points to your Express Entry profile, based on which you can apply for. You'll get the invite in the PNP draw that happens every 2 weeks on a Monday, and then based on that, you can apply for your PR to IRCC. Okay, but again, repeating that these streams are automatically associated with Express Entry and you don't have to do anything. So you put in your profile in Express Entry, and the OINP system, when conducting the draw, will automatically pick your profile, but it will look at the parameters differently. It will look at the parameters based on the eligibility criteria they have, not what Express Entry has or not what category based selection has. And this was the place where you look, right, the skill trades draw. This is where those 2,500 applications were recently returned, if people have been following the news, for the trades that they were not very convinced whether province felt that most of the experience they could not evaluate the authenticity of it, and they did not have resources, so they just returned the application. So there were some bad actors, some good ones, but good ones caught out with bad ones. Again, I have my views. Was it right thing to or wrong thing to do? But that's not important. Point is, it has happened and government controls it. That's the Express Entry stream. But again, repeating that no draw has happened for this stream since November 2024. Not saying it cannot happen. IRC or OINP has been unpredictable themselves quite a bit. So maybe they just surprise us. Okay, but practically, again, I wouldn't expect any draw to happen before revamp, and after revamp, we'll see that what comes out of the streams that will work in conjunction with Express Entry. I hope it is making sense, because it sometimes can get too much information. Okay, and then what happens is that we have an entirely different system which is called OINP EOI, which is OINP Expression of Interest System. This has nothing to do with that Express Entry. Whenever this is where job offer also comes in, okay, and this is where the PR is not finalized by Express Entry. This is the system for which you are not given 600 points. Okay, this is the system for which you create your profile separately, like someone like Sunny was alluding a little bit earlier, right? That their employer is initiating something that they are able to create their profile. So this is the system where you can create your profile and then draws will be conducted separately. So this is the stream, or this is the system on which Ontario has been conducting draws actively. And they have not been conducting any draws related to Express Entry streams. Okay, so which is where I did not spend too much time going through the eligibility criteria for these streams, because again, like I said, let's wait and watch on that one. There are no draws happening since past 1.5 years. Coming to OINP EOI, which is a very, very hot topic at this point in time. So EOI is where all the provincial activity is happening right now. Okay, but also what you need to understand that this is the pathway which is called non-express entry provincial nomination pathway, meaning that you will get your nomination through province and then you will apply your PR through something called non-express entry portal. It's an entirely different process, entirely different portal from what you see in express entry and GC key. Okay, so don't be confused that getting a nomination will give you some 600 points and you can apply through express entry. No, this is a different process. This is a parallel process. So how does this process start? Is that it of course talks about you, but it has 4 streams, okay, or 5 if you want to call it that. So one of the or 2 streams are master graduate stream and PhD graduate stream. So this is for people who in past 2 years have passed out from a institution which is listed. Usually those are universities listed and have completed their masters and PhDs from those particular institutions in Ontario. And if you have done that, and like I said, it is within 2 years of your completion, meaning what's the date on your completion letter. So within those 2 years, you still qualified this stream and you can unilaterally just go ahead in the system and create your profile. You don't need any job offer from anyone. And once you create your profile, you will be allocated a score, and based on that score, draws will be conducted. So why are we talking about this? We likely would not have talked about this because there was no draw in this stream for past 1.5 years. But magically, IRCC decided to wake up, and about 10 days ago, they conducted a draw for this stream. Okay, but of course, sorry, IRCC, I said it's OINP. But of course, it was not a normal draw, because the normal draw would be you graduated, you did your master's or a PhD from institution, you went ahead, created your profile, you got a score, they would conduct a draw that for say people higher than score 50, I don't even remember, we are issuing the invite, and that's how it used to function. But this time they have added a twist wherein they called out masters and PhD graduates, but only for specific knock codes. So that's a very new thing for master graduate stream itself, never happened before. Okay, and now people are having to rush and figure out their knock codes because they were not very serious about it, because it was not part of any of the draws earlier. And most of the people's, because creating profile is not a complex process, they created their profiles and they selected the knock code what they could for their job, and they just move forward. Okay, now I have 3 files for this, and in every single place we are struggling to prove the knock code. Either employer is not agreeing, or the knock code was selected incorrectly. It's just that it's the nature of the draw that happened, and nobody was prepared for that. But it happened, and it was a specific knock code draw. So if you're outside of that knock code and you're not able to prove it, your nomination will be refused. That's the nuance of it. Okay, which is where now I'm trying to cover 2 things together so that I can save some time. I'm talking about the eligibility for these streams, but also I'm trying to provide you information on the latest trends that are going on that have been little surprising. Okay, but that's on the master and PhD graduate streams that you don't need any job offer. Okay, you can create those profiles unilaterally. They're applicable for 2 years, at least as of how things stand right now. And then knock code draw for these streams was a very surprising draw. It had never happened in past, but it is happening now. So now moving forward, the rest of the 3 streams that you see, don't know if it is too small, but if people are not following, this is the box I've been talking about. Rest of the 3 streams, which is the international student stream, foreign worker stream, in-demand skill stream. All 3 require the support from your employer. Okay, meaning that your employer has to initiate the process. They have to submit the profile in the system. So first they have to qualify. Okay, so each of these streams has a certain employer criteria, and each stream has slightly different, at least based on the region. Like someone was suggesting, right? I think Sunny himself, that he's in Windsor, wherein the requirement is that the employer should have 3 or more people who are PR or citizens. Okay, but if the same employer is in Toronto, the requirement becomes that they need to have 5 people who are Canadian citizens or PR. The business must exist for more than 3 years. Then their revenue there should be at least 1 year in past 3 years. That if you are in Toronto, GTA area, your revenue should be $1 million or higher. If it is outside, then your revenue should be $500,000 or higher in one of the years of past 3 years. So those are requirements that cover the employer, okay, which is what I was even answering earlier. That employer is supposed to go to something called employer portal for EOI, create their profile first, okay, and their eligibility will be established, after which they can now extend job offers to their employees. That's the first step. So if you're targeting any of these 3 streams, international student, foreign worker, or in demand, the process has to be initiated from your employer and not yourself. But before going to the employer, it will be useful if you understand your own eligibility. Like in this case, person is not eligible for in demand, but they were given or international student, but they were given a job offer in international student, or so that won't help. Okay, because employer meets the eligibility. Okay, but as an individual, you don't meet the eligibility because you did not do studies from Canada, and or say your studies have passed 2 years. So if you don't meet the eligibility, create your profile. Even if you get the ITA, there is no use of it. You won't be able to meet your eligibility criteria, and documentation is quite comprehensive when it comes to proving the eligibility criteria. So international student, the primary requirement is that you should have passed from the list of institutions from within, and those are within Ontario and even outside Ontario, within past 2 years. Second thing is that you should have at least have minimum wage in the NOC code. Then there are points that if you're in GTA, you get some lesser points. If you're outside GTA, you get more points in terms of your job offer. If you did your education from outside GTA, you get some more points. If you did your education from GTA, you get some less points. So those are the specifics that you will run into when you are running your own eligibility check. Foreign worker job offer stream. In this, what changes fundamentally is that you should have at least 2 years of experience in the same NOC in past 5 years for which you are applying for. And this experience could be in Canada, this experience could be outside Canada. It can be cumulative, it does not have to be continuous, but it has to be 2 years of experience. And so that's the biggest requirement. Second big requirement is that your wage should be higher than the median wage for the place you are working in, meaning that you can go to job bank, search wage, and there put your NOC code, your job title, and see that what's the prevailing wage for that particular job in your region. And you will see low, median, and high. So you should at least be at median for you to qualify in foreign worker job offer stream. So two big requirements I just stated. One is that you need to have 2 years of experience in that NOC code, and second is that you need to have the median wage, or you need to have the wage which is higher than median wage for the region in which you are getting the job offer. So those two things have to be met. Then of course there is few other criteria as well. And again, things remain the same, that you get extra points for region where your job offer is. If it is outside GTA or Toronto, you get more points. And then even in draws, you will see that there are ready communities. There are draws conducted for Northeastern Ontario, South Ontario, Central Ontario is something which is Toronto region, which happened just today or just last week. So now that's a new things that are happening, that these draws were structured very differently. If I go back to 2024, in 2025, we saw there were some changes that started happening. In 2026, we are now seeing more and more changes happening, the way the province is conducting these draws. Okay, and just brace yourself that it is here to stay. That province, based on its requirements, will decide for which region they want to conduct the draw, for which NOC codes they want to conduct the draw. Okay, some of the NOC codes will always remain in demand, like in healthcare. We have nurses, we have personal support workers, which generally are in demand. We'll have early childhood educators, which are currently in demand. Okay, nobody knows whether they'll stay or not, but yes, they are there and they continuously seem to be in demand, at least as of right now. If you are in a smaller community working in one of these NOC codes, chances are you have better chances of qualifying than versus you are in GTA. And that's the thing I used to tell everybody. But what OINP did was, last week, they just went ahead and conducted draw for GTA. And then of course there were draws outside of GTA as well. But point being, that was very, very surprising, like I said. And especially conducting the GTA draw means that you are only competing with people. Again, this is a nuance and you may not understand, which is fine, okay? But try and understand if you can. If a draw is structured just for GTA, now understand that you are at an advantage. People in GTA, if they are competing with people only from GTA, they are at an advantage. Because as soon as you drift into larger draws, then GTA people have to compete with people who are outside GTA, who are getting those 8 and 10 points because of the region. Okay, so this is why this draw was very, very significant, because it was only structured for the GTA people, that they are not competing with people from outside GTA, because it imbalances things by a lot. So that imbalance was removed, and that gave some fair competing grounds to people who are in GTA, and now they are competing only with the people from GTA. So that's why this significance of this draw that happened only for the GTA region was that high. And I think I have spoken a lot. I've been talking a lot. I think I'll stop here and I will start taking some questions. Okay, I
Abhishek,
can for a lot.
there was one question from Augustine Matthew. It is quite pertinent. It says that, are you sure it is 2 years eligibility for OINP foreign workers stream?
Oh, yeah, it's not even who I'm sure, right? That's where you come in, right? Go to OINP, choose the right stream, go to foreign worker stream, and then you will see. Okay, yes, it is black and white that you need to have 2 years of experience in past 5 years in the same knock code for which you are claiming the job offer in. So 1560 hours is no, that's the counting they are suggesting. Okay, that 1560 hours counts as 1 year. Okay, and you need 2 such years wherein you are able to prove 1560 plus 1560 hours. Just spend more
Abhishek,
time. Don't just look through the keywords and statements. Go through the entire page and then you will realize what I'm saying.
Abhishek, can I ask something?
Yes.
Sunny,
So
there are others in fray. Abhishek, I'll have to.
let's just finish with Sunny.
Okay,
Okay, he did ask
okay.
something earlier as well.
Go ahead, Sunny. Go ahead.
Yeah, so my knock code is 33102 in demand skill.
It's
Okay,
not. I'm repeating. It's not in in-demand skill.
yeah, sorry. That is my knock code, but
Yeah.
my duties are matching with the 44102. That is PSW and also.
Yeah, so let me stop you here, okay? And that is another very pertinent question. That your knock code is not 33102 until it is 33102. Who is deciding your knock code is 33102? It's your duties who are deciding. Okay, so
Yeah, okay.
these two statements are incorrect. That my knock code is 33102, but my duties say it is something different. Okay, these cannot be looked at separately because duties are deciding your knock code. So if your duties say your knock code is something different, then does not matter.
So my job is matching with the both. So
It
because
cannot match with both. You are making a mistake. It cannot match with both.
okay, so it's in healthcare. So PSW and nurses aid are the same, right? So there are so many nurses aid, patient
Look,
assistants.
you have to go through the responsibilities. I'm repeating again. You have to go through the responsibilities, not the job titles. Okay, and
Responsibilities, right? So can I use the other no codes?
if your responsibilities match, yes. If your responsibilities don't match, you cannot have
My
multiple knock
mostly,
codes for one job. You only
yeah,
can have one knock code.
my responsibilities are matching with the other one. So can I
So
use it or?
that's your knock code.
Sorry?
If they're matching with something else, those are your knock code. Your responsibilities determine your knock code.
I'll take Gerald's question actually, Abhishek. Gerald, if you want, you can speak up, please. Go ahead.
Thank you, Abhishek, for the opportunity for what you're doing. I just have two questions and possibly want to collapse them in one. So the first one is what I typed on the question bar. I said, in my express entry, the system told me I'm qualified for CEC and federal express entry, but PMP, he said no. So I was wondering, why am I not qualified for PMP,
Because you don't have a PNP nomination.
Sorry?
Do you have a PNP nomination?
Okay, no.
That's it.
Okay. Then my knock code, what I'm doing is educational assistant 43100. So am I supposed to have 1 year if I'm going to go on international student stream and the other ones?
International student stream has no requirements in terms of the amount of experience you have gained in that knock code.
Okay, so any number of years, okay. And have they been doing more? I don't know if they've been doing more draws on the international student stream or the employer. I don't know which one has been more.
I wish I had more time on this session, but if you look at the draws, they have been just doing it together for both of the streams.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Satish, we'll take your question now. Please go ahead.
Thank you, Abhishek, to give the opportunity. I have two questions. The first question is that I completed my study in 2024 in the April. Like in the official transcript, it says that the 26th April, while I start my work permit on the May month, and the convocation was on the June on the 2024. So my 2 years on an international student stream, it's starting from the June or it's starting from the April. I'm confused about that.
No, I just go by the completion letter. The day that what completion letter says is your end date is what I go by.
Yeah, so that means that I get the convocation on the June, so it's starting from the June to June 2026.
June is convocation. June is not the completion letter. Completion letter is completion letter. Convocation is convocation. There you get your degree, right? But completion letter is given much before, based on which you apply for your post-graduation work permit.
Okay, so my completion letter means the transcript, right? The official transcript, it says
there would be a separate letter. Transcript is transcript, completion letter is completion letter, degree certificate is degree certificate. Okay, so the day you get the completion letter is the day your studies are deemed to be completed.
The one more question is that, like the last year when I created my profile, my pay was $19. Now it raised to 19.50 cents. So So is I need to create the profile, or is it possible to update my pay rate in the next, like the previous profile?
You can update your profile.
Oh, thank you so much.
Hope that answers Satish. Abhishek, there is a question from Ahmed. It says that what's your advice for a person located in Alberta and he has an employer out of Alberta? That's first part. And second part is it feasible to move to Ontario for OINP program? That's second.
Good. So for outside Alberta, again, it depends, right? Where outside Alberta, it just is a very big discussion, right? That if you're talking specifically for OINP, yes, I can answer that. Is it feasible? Depends on your knock code, depends on where you are getting the job. I am one person who does not like people moving too much, especially if they are in an active job, and see where you are in Alberta, what is the trend that is going on, and if that can help you. Two, I am a very big fan of OINP. Okay, it is finding its way. Yes, it is little inconsistent at this point in time, but I still believe that Ontario is the province that has most opportunities, and of course it has most competition too. And also the OINP has been pretty good starting September 2025. They have been consistent. They have been giving out nominations between 2 to 4 months. We can largely predict, at least for some of the knock codes, some of the regions, that whether a person will get an invite or not. So based on your, yes, Ahmed, please speak up.
First of all, can you hear me, guys? First, I want to thank you guys for the webinar that you are doing. Really appreciate it.
Yes.
So the thing is, by coincidence, immigration things, so I landed up in Edmonton. So as a senior manager, my company, it's a remote, it's a global company, GE, General Electric, which is in Canada, is based in Ontario. We have an office in Ontario. The idea in Alberta, because Alberta, to go for a local program, PNP, you have to, your employer should be physically in Alberta, right? You said that I think different.
Yeah, that's true for OINP as well.
Yeah. Oh, it's the same thing. But at least my office is in Ontario, which has satisfied this condition. So the thing is, should we wait till the announcement after April, or should we take a decision, prepare for the move to Ontario? Maybe we will have better chances there, much than Alberta.
Very hard to answer, but I'll say at least wait for till this April, May thing, that the new programs or new streams have been rolled out before making such a big move. Okay, at least you should know that you will qualify. At least you should know that your employer will support, that it makes sense to make this move.
Yep.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, I'll take one from Shravan Batula. It says that if anyone has got an OINP invitation to apply under employer job offer, international student stream before 30th May 2026 and have submitted the documents, will they also be affected and their application will be revoked?
No, likely no.
That's first.
If province conducts the draws, they know what they are doing. Okay, and it's such a short window, right? See, what happened with the skilled trade people was a very different thing. Okay, it has very different dynamics to it. But this is something that this government is controlling or looking at it very closely. So if government conducted a draw under the previous streams, they will respect it. Okay, don't worry about that.
The second question from the same person is, what is the current timelines for OINP employer job offer international student stream based on your experience?
I've seen it from three weeks to 4 months, but 4 months is the maximum I've seen. And I'm talking about both the employer job of the foreign worker and international student. International student, I feel it's a little bit faster, if you ask me.
Okay. The next question is from Rehan. It says, today I saw one person receive a PFL for not declaring DoorDash experience in personal history. I have not claimed it as well. I didn't feel it was necessary. Should I raise a web form and inform IRCC regarding this mistake?
It's just these awkward things that are happening. Earlier, we used to have this flexibility. Now it seems I don't even know what's going on. So it's a very relevant question, Rehan. It's just, I don't have a good answer. The right answer is that yes, you should disclose everything. That's what the form is meant for. And no, not just raising a web form and saying I worked for DoorDash will work. In your case, if you want to do this properly, raise form called 5669. Fill that form and then you will see personal history section in there. Fill all of the details and then submit that form and say that it was my mistake that I omitted this. So that's the reason I am just resubmitting that form with the new information. Again, remember it's called IMM 5669.
Okay, the next one is, if I start EOI and suddenly my hours reduce like weekly 20 hours, is it okay to get EOI or future? I mean, Nawaz,
It can impact you. I mean, EOI is supposed to be for full-time permanent job offers. Okay, so which means 30 hours per week. So if it is going 20 hours per week, it can get little awkward. But then people say, because the idea with the EOI is that you get the nomination, you apply for PR, you get the PR. Okay, but then there are some people who even lose their jobs during that time, and it can happen. They don't inform IRCC, and their even PRs are finalized. So it really is that fundamentally, as soon as your hours change, you must inform, and that will make you ineligible for a particular stream. Or else, second way is that if you just hide the information and hope you get lucky, and nobody asks for any more details.
Then there is from David. Actually, it says, if I'm in Winnipeg, which stream would I be eligible for? I am also an educational assistant.
Winnipeg, I am not talking about Manitoba here, David. I see your hand is up too. But yes, and if it comes to say OINP and you have a job, you have an employer who is in OINP and or not in OINP, who is in Ontario and is willing to give you a job offer. And if you have 2 years of work experience in the domain, you could qualify in foreign worker job offer stream. But also it will be interesting to see how the new streams are rolled out, because there are changes, some big changes about to come. But I still expect early childhood educator assistants and early childhood educators to continue to remain in demand.
Okay, then there is one from Yatin Bangia. Yatin, it says that Abhishek, I am on close work permit working as assistant administrative in GTA area. I have 3 years experience in same knock code 13110. I am eligible for foreign workers job offer stream.
You need to have more than median wage. So yes, if your wage is higher than median wage, you are eligible. Then see again, but also remember that being eligible does not mean you will be called out. Okay, because nobody knows the knock code that the province will be calling out. So yes, you are eligible for the stream if your wage is higher than median wage, but also you need to qualify. Or
Okay.
you need to be called
Yeah.
out by OINP.
Then there is one. I am a PhD student in Quebec. When we are filing 5669 for Uber and DoorDash, if we overdo the limit of 20 hours per week, does it affect the PR process?
If at that point in time that, yeah, if you were not allowed to work more than 20 hours per week, you did it, it can, I mean, who knows, right? They are not asking you for the hours you worked, so they don't have the full view of it. Okay, but it's thing you have done in past, and can it come back? Yes, definitely, if they start digging deeper. But do they dig deeper? Till now, they did not used to. Okay, and all of this information is new information. But if you fundamentally know for yourself that you made a mistake, then it may be just upon luck that if they dig deeper or if they don't.
Okay. Next one is, can I change my knock code with the same company after I get the nomination from OINP and my file is in the federal?
Till you
Or
get PR,
I need
till you
to
get
start
PR, you
with
cannot
this.
make such a change.
Okay. Then there is one, how do I change the hourly wage on my OINP profile if there is increase in my pay?
Just change. Go ahead and update your profile.
Next one is, I have knock code 21222. Since my employer is not supporting PNP, is there any scope in OINP from express entry draws in human capital stream?
Who knows whether that stream survives or not? There has been no draw for a year and a half. So if you ask my opinion, I don't think that there will be any more draws. I don't think that this stream will survive the changes that are supposed to happen. I could be wrong here. Okay, but that's my view.
Abhishek, I think we'll have to answer Satish again. I think he missed out. His question was regarding the knock code change my knock code with the same company after I get the nomination for OINP and
No.
my file is in federal.
No, I said right. No, you cannot change.
I think, Abhishek, that's that. Gerald, will take your question now. Gerald, you may speak up if you have any question or if we have already answered.
Thank you very
Yeah.
much. So I wanted to ask, if you have somebody who did up to 3 years as a marketing, because I realized that the new addition to the the targeted occupations now is general managers, advertising managers for communication. If you had like 3 or 4 years experience back home and you are here, would you advise somebody to look at that direction if he doesn't have any job offer in that area? Is there any stream that can take that, or the person should just
almost, if you're talking of OINP, unless you are master or PhD stream, the way things stand right now, think of it that job offer will almost always be necessary until the changes that are coming in, they structure some stream differently, or else unless you are master or PhD graduate who may qualify, job offer is almost an essential thing to have.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Abhishek, I think that's that. Yatin, you want to ask anything specific? You have already raised your hand and I've already read out your question. But if you want, you can actually ask your question.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, pretty much. Please go ahead.
So please actually ask your question. As I said, like I'm working as assistant administrative in GT area. But somebody's told me like I'm not eligible for, even I have a median wage. I'm getting $34, 34.5. And they said because there is no draw for the assistant administrative last almost 6-7 years.
Those are two different things, Jatin. That's what I told you. That one thing is eligibility, other thing is being called out. So you are eligible, okay, but will you be called out? Nobody knows.
But they said
So what if tomorrow OINP stands up and they do a GTA administrative assistant draw?
So what will you recommend? I should ask to my employer to go
Always,
to.
I tell everyone, irrespective of the knock code, if it is tier 3 or higher, you should, if your employer is ready to support you, you should have your profile in. It does not cost anything at all to the employer, to yourself. Okay, will you get an opportunity or not? Nobody knows.
Okay.
Okay, are chances high? No, they are not. They are very low chances. But if you're not in the game, then what if such a draw happens?
Right, you're right. And one more thing, when we go for the ONIP, then all fee and also everything we have to pay first or like after invitation, like so there's a confusion because
Everything is after invitation.
oh, okay,
At the
okay,
time of application submission. That is true for OINP, that is true for express entry.
okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for it.
Yeah.
We
Abhishek,
can
then there
come
is.
back to Sunny, okay, because I don't have time. I mean, I know I have a client waiting, but Sunny, if you want to discuss your case a little bit more now.
Yeah, so I just send you a message also. So I am working here at patient transfer. Its no code is 33102.
Okay.
Okay. So for applying in foreign worker stream, I required 2 years of experience, right?
That's right.
Yeah. So, but my duties and responsibilities are matching with the 44101 and SSA PSW also. So can I use
So see,
that?
I'll tell you the fundamental difference between the two. Fundamental difference is that for 44101, that you visit homes and you provide care in the home care settings. Okay, for PSW, so both are PSW, okay? Home support, working in home settings or working in long-term care or retirement homes. Okay, so if you're working for retirement homes, you become 33102. If you're working in home support settings, you become 44101.
So, but PSW necessary and patient services. So
PSW is a very generic word here, okay? So don't go by PSW.
Okay,
Go by the settings and the responsibilities that you have, whether your responsibilities reflect that you are working in home care settings or whether your responsibilities reflect you are working in retirement or old age or long-term care settings.
Yeah, I understand that, but my designation is patient transfer assistant, but my duties are matching with nurses aid and patient service assistant and all. But that one is coming on 44101.
Again, you are not following me. No, you have, it goes by in which settings. If you are providing the transfers for patients who are in long-term care, it will be 33102. If you're providing transfer to patients, you are picking them from their home and doing the transfers, then it becomes 44101.
So I'm picking the patient from homes and all also. So
that's where it becomes 44101, right?
So can I use that no code?
For in-demand skills, 44101, yes. 33102 is for the international student or foreign worker streams.
Yeah, so can I use this 44101 and apply for the in-demand?
Yes or no, you cannot get a yes or no answer from me.
That's
I don't know your responsibilities, but yes, if your responsibilities align with the no code, yes.
Okay, so I can change the no code, right? 44101.
You can claim the right no code.
I can claim it. Okay. Thank you so much. So I got it. I'll get back to you.
Hope we answered, Sunny. There are a couple of other questions. Thanks, Sunny. There is another question. It says, does the master or PhD have to be from Canada? I guess he's asking about the international.
I think it's honestly have to be from Ontario, from what I remember. There is a very limited set of universities that qualify for these programs.
There is another question. It says that news came from government revoked all 9 OINP streams. What does this mean?
They're not revoked. They are revamping everything. So we'll just see how this pans out. So there are 5 non-express entry, 4 express entry. So all of the streams likely will go away and they will be revamping them. But they have not been revamped as of right now.
I think you're on top of the hour, Abhishek. It's pretty kind of, since you have a call as well. I just have one question since I got caught off guard. You threw a bouncer at me. You said you talked about these OINP express entry streams, these 3 streams that you spoke about. And you said people actually get 500 points under the provincial nomination automatically system gives 500 points.
600.
When PNP, 600, right? Sorry. When PNP actually gives points, when they already get 500 points and they become eligible for PNP, why would they specifically need the OINP express entry stream draws, you said they have not been conducted for past 1.5 years. Since they are already qualifying for the PNP thing, does that, really, because, and if they get a TA under the PNP, why would they specifically need it under the OINP express entry stream?
Who is qualifying them under, and don't get me wrong, it's just how a function. Who is qualifying them under PNP and giving them 600 points?
Basically all those people who are getting the OINP, who are qualifying under the OINP express entry
Who is
streams
qualifying
that
them?
are the Ontario province.
So it's OINP, right?
Right.
So OINP, how is OINP qualifying them?
Basically based on the criteria, if they fulfill the criteria.
So you are answering your own questions, right? That OINP, there is a criteria. There are streams in OINP that work with express entry. OINP conduct draws, and everything is still happening through OINP. So it's not, those 600 points are not magical. Nobody is getting them from some sky somewhere, that somebody is plucking them and adding to the system. They are going through the system. They are going through the process. They are going through OINP. Those streams, of course, draws have not happened. Had they happened, then the OINP will come back to you, say, please submit your application to us. You will submit your application to OINP. You will pay a fees of 1,500. OINP will evaluate your application, and if your application is successfully approved, is when you will be given those 600 points in express entry by OINP.
Okay, got that.
Okay,
got it. I think, yeah, that's that, Abhishek, and no more questions here.
I see one from Augustine, if she is still around. I think I
Augustine kind of, Augustine, actually, there was not a question. She was kind of, simply apologizing for the fact that, she got confused between 1 year and 2 years. So there was no specific question from her. It says that, sorry, my bad. And it says that I got confused and stressed out after suspension of skilled trade streams. So might have missed information while referring to every program possible. Sorry about that. So she was
all good.
more, yeah. So that's pretty much, yeah. So no further questions, Abhishek, here. And thanks a lot for giving this such a valuable session, an eye opener for me as well. But thank you so much. And I hope everybody else in the webinar actually, had, some good information. They got some valid information. Plus all these questions always help us, do better. And I hope everyone is pretty satisfied. And that's all for today. I'll leave it to you, Abhishek, and we can close it.
No, that's it. I mean, thank you, everyone. And yeah, like I say after every webinar, that these questions do help me grow myself, because some of these are new situations that I don't get to have with my existing clients. So yes, so as much as I'm helping you, you folks are helping me grow my skill set. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Abhishek. Thank you for that advice.
Bye.
Yeah, so we can close the session, guys. Thank you. Thanks for being a part of it. Have a nice day, all of you. Bye-bye.